Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again with another episode, with another episode of my worthless 2 cents table talk, where your approval is not needed. Oh, look at him, look at him, look at him. No country boy, look here. I'm gonna shut my trap here in a minute, but I got a question for everybody tonight. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? The country boy says this. I don't know if there's a doctor in the house, but there's sure one at the table. Yes, indeed. Look here. I ain't gonna, y'all know I don't do no introduction. I'm just excited over here. If I decide to fall over, that's okay because I got a doctor. If that doctor don't help me, see, I can do that now. I got a doctor. So look here. I'm gonna shut this old trap. But what I want y'all to do is open your ear things up here, man. Just embrace what the doctor got to tell you. You know how y'all be doctor be talking about. Y'all need to listen because the doctor gonna give you some stuff tonight. I don't know what the doctor gonna give you, but whatever she prescribed tonight, you can sure use it. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Yes, indeed. So without further ado, it is my honor, it is my pleasure to say, sit back, relax, put on your head gear. Oh, Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D, have your way. Put something in the air, doctor.
How we doing? How you
I'm
doing? Oh my gosh, it's a treat. I am totally honored to be here. It is such a treat. I appreciate you letting me come and sit with you and just chat and have a
yes.
little bit of conversation. I love it.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here. It is an honor. It is an honor. It is a privilege to have you. You are the world renowned. You are the pace setter. You the pace car. You set the pace up there for everybody else. Everybody else they just trailing behind. And I am honored to have you here to give us whatever it is you want to feed us. Because the one thing I know is this: is that you have some very valuable information. You have a very valuable journey that you've been on that you can share, and I appreciate it that you come in open, you come in honest, and you come in transparent. And I know the seeds that you finna sow. Oh, they gonna be good. They gonna blow up some things.
I love it. Um, yeah, I mean, it's funny when you and I chatted. It was a really cool chat just to sort of see your evolution and my sort of process through medical school. I started out doing construction as a project manager, went to school for architecture, and then life kind of shows you that maybe you're meant to be doing something else.
Right.
Had two big losses in my life, my mom and my sister, way before their time. And that was sort of the beginning of me sort of making some shifts towards medicine, but it still required a lot of nurturing and a lot of nudging. But eventually went back to school, did medical school. I tacked on a fellowship after that. And then more recently, I got board certified in lifestyle medicine. And now I finally feel like I've sort of found what I've been called to do. And it is truly a pleasure and a blessing to be able to work with people that are ready to truly change their health, because what I've been doing in healthcare in the traditional model, in my opinion, has not been restoring health to people. It's been just managing whatever their disease is and what we know to be the natural consequence of those diseases.
Right.
And now I actually feel like I can give the power back to those that I work with and those that I coach so that they can change their quality of life and their generational health, so
Yes.
that their kids, they don't have to lose their parents way before their time. Their grandkids, they get to spend as much time as God has given their grandparents, on this earth. So I feel blessed to be able to do that. And when people are ready to do it, it's an amazing thing to watch. It truly is. So I love it.
Doc, can I ask you, old country, well, I ain't got no, I'm listening to you, but can I ask you something? Do you think that people have been hoodwinked and bamboozled into thinking like all they have to do is take this pill over here? I don't know. I don't take no pills. But thinking that, and because I had a conversation with somebody earlier today, and I give you this one pill that treats this, but then it causes this. Then I'm gonna give you another pill that treats that, but then it causes this. And it's almost like a whole domino effect that just keeps going and going and going and going and going. Then that's why you open up the medicine cabinet and all the pill bottles fall out, but you've never ever treated what it was.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with the way the medical education is structured. What I've learned over the last 2 years with nutrition and treating root cause and getting back to lifestyle, that was not taught in the current medical education system. Now that's coming. There are some institutions that are adopting this and they're bringing it in early so that medical students are learning this as part of their natural matriculation through medical school. But when I went through medical school, that wasn't heard of. We learned pharmacology, we learned all the drugs. Well, first we learned how to identify disease. We learned what was normal. We learned how to identify disease when something was abnormal. And then we learned all the medications to treat said disease. That's an oversimplification, but that was the natural course of our education. We weren't talking about root cause. We weren't talking about how to treat root cause. We weren't talking about how to coach somebody on making habit change and lifestyle change. That just wasn't part of the curriculum. So as a result, you have physicians that come through training that are only doing what they've been taught. And unless there's some event that happens or something that has them hungry enough to go look for this information and acquire it on their own time, they don't get it in the natural progression through medical school. So you just perpetuate what you've been taught, which is identification of disease, prescribe a medication. And you're right, there tends to be a snowball effect. And then you're treating symptoms with more meds. That is absolutely how traditional medicine is practiced right now. But it's changing. It is changing. It's going to take a lot of time for that to catch up.
Right, right. And that's so with, again, I don't take any medicine, but with knowing the cost that's behind it, I was having another conversation with my brother-in-law. We were talking about that, where the saddest part is where the elderly have to choose between, do I want this medicine or do I want to eat? Mm. And that's a tough, what do I go here? Where do I go here? Because they feel like I gotta have all of this. I gotta have this bag. Because if I don't have this bag right here, but then I have to give up this over here in order to, and I love what you're doing. And I love that you didn't just stay in the, okay, stay right here. This is how you're supposed to do it. You just treat this and you move on. And I love that you said, wait a minute, hold up. You made the conscious decision, and that's it. You made the conscious decision to go like, wait, there's got to be something else.
Yeah. And that's the greatest power, is when individuals recognize that they actually do have the ability to command their own health. And that, to me, when that light bulb goes off, that is the most gratifying thing that I do. Because again, the traditional way is you need us to write you a prescription in order to continue to live your life. But the honest truth, for the vast majority of things that we're writing prescriptions for, if you change your lifestyle, you change what you eat, you change what you're drinking, you change how you manage your stress, you move in a certain way, you can reverse those diseases and you do not need those medications. Now, that's not to say that's everybody's bucket, but the vast majority of people, we can reverse or significantly reduce their need for medications. And that's the most powerful thing that I could ever do for somebody, is to give them that power and support them in that. The most powerful thing I can do.
Wow. And that's amazing. That is amazing. Can you just tell me, like, I don't know what you do. I'll be reading about it. Just tell me. I'll be reading. I'll be scrolling. I'll be like, ooh.
Yeah. So
I'll try country boy.
You got it. So basically, lifestyle medicine, the term, is we know if we can change our lifestyle, and that's pieces and parts, right? So that's again what you eat, your nutrition, how you hydrate yourself, and what you choose to hydrate yourself with, whether that's waters or juices or alcohol or whatever. Are you moving enough? Are you exercising enough to sort of maintain your health and to acquire health? Are you managing your stress? Do you have good social connections, right? Do you have a village? Do you have a group of people that are looking out for you, that you're connected to, your church, your family, those sorts of things? If we can create that optimum sort of those pillars, again, in the vast majority of cases, we can reverse, either prevent and or reverse chronic disease. So what I do is, for people that are interested, they reach out to me. I'm willing to do at least that initial consultation for free, because I think it's important enough for people to understand the power that they have. So I have people fill out information, tell me where they are currently with their health. What are they eating? What are they drinking? Do they have weight to lose? Are they on medication? If so, what? What are their limitations for exercising? And then I spend 30, 45 minutes to an hour, and I sit down and I talk to them and I say, okay, this is where you're at. And if this is your goal, these are my recommendations. And if you need some support along the way, then I do that, right? Through coaching and contact and an app that gives them that information, gives them an exercise plan, gives them a nutrition plan. They have access to me 4 times a year, and then they have support from a health coach longitudinally through their program. And then de-prescribing, because in most cases, if I'm working with someone, let's say, who has diabetes, type 2 diabetes is what I'm talking about when it comes to being reversed, and we can get into the difference between those two if that's helpful. You start out with one medication. Most cases, you tack on another, and then you end up on insulin, right? And it's just this normal progression. Right. So a lot of times when we change our lifestyle, we can reduce the need for those medications, right? We can come off the insulin. We may be able to eliminate one medication, sometimes all two, but we just have to see. And then that de-prescribing, I refer them back to their physician to do that. Once I know they're sort of headed in that direction.
Right. Yeah. How long is it? I mean, is there like a time frame for somebody that is, or, somebody wants to come in? But I'm gonna believe, and I'm gonna say this because I don't really know. You have to want to do it. Whatever it is, you have to want to do it. You have to want to put in the work. You can't just think, oh, Dr. D told me this and it's just gonna happen, but I'm gonna just sit here.
It is absolutely 100%. You have to give that effort. One, you have to want it. You have to have that desire. And then you have to be willing to apply that knowledge consistently, because the worst thing that can happen, well, maybe not the worst thing, but what hurts me the most is you help somebody reverse their disease and then they just go back to the same habits they had before, and you're going to undo all the great things you've accomplished. So right. I want people that want to change their life. I don't want people that want to just lose a bunch of weight for the wedding or lose a bunch of weight for the party that's coming up. I want right. people that say, I want to change my life. I want the next 40, 50 years of my life to look dramatically different than what it looks right now. I've got grandbabies that I want to be around for, that I want to run around with and chase and do all these things with. And I need to make changes now consistently for the future that I want 15 years from now. Those are the people that I'm looking for. And those are the people I want to work with. Because that's what I want, is I want to help people change their life, not just do something for 2 months and then go backwards.
Right. And that's that
so the
commitment.
Desire has to be there.
Yeah, and you got to be committed to it. That's that. What is it? That's that New Year's resolution. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. And then by the end of January, it's like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna do it no more. But it is, when, and I love what you're saying, because you think about it. You're talking about the things that we did these things to get here. Mm-hmm. We whatever it may be, we did these things to ourselves. That's about taking accountability and responsibility for yourself. I got myself here. Now, here are the things I got to do, the steps I got to take to try to reverse this. And understand and know, I've had some people on here that had, the workout things, and to know it is, again, it's a commitment that mm-hmm. you put in there. You or nobody else is going to force anybody to change their life. If you don't want to train, I can't force you to do it if it ain't what you want to do.
Yep. Very true. You said that is so true. That's an accountability, right? I think um, even in my current, because I still do sort of traditional healthcare, at least through the end of October. And a lot of the conversations that I've had, it's this sort of, um, blind acceptance. Well, my mom and dad had it, so I know I'm just going to get it at some point. Or, oh, my uncle had it, or, oh, my aunt had it, so I know I'm going to get it. So it absolves them of any responsibility for their
Mm,
choices because, well, genetics says I'm going to get it. No, that's not the case, right? Like you said, the choices we've made sort of create our outcome. And if we want to change that outcome and again, that trajectory, we've got to change our choices and we've got to change, what we do with our lifestyle. But people need support. I get that. Right. And that's the piece that I think is also missing because I can bark orders at people and I can give people all the information they need. But when it comes down to day-to-day support, people need it. And that's why that coaching throughout is the piece that I think is missing. And that's what I want to make sure I also provide. So that, when the rubber meets the road, you've got a family outing coming. You don't feel like doing it today. You're tired. Why can't I eat what I want? And blah, blah, blah. You've got that support to sort of help you navigate that and change the thinking between your ears, because that's where
right.
the decision starts, right? That's where the habit starts, is in your head. You've got to change that mindset, right? As opposed to feeling like you're deprived. Why can't I have the peach cobbler? Oh, somebody's telling me I can't. No, you choose not to because you know that making this choice leads to the outcome that you want. So you make that choice again and again and again. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Doc. I'm learning how to work this thing here. And like when somebody puts a comment,
Yeah.
when I started this thing off, I say, look here, I can't read comments and try to look at the screen. So now I figured out I can move them over there. And like if they say something like you can,
There you go. There you go. I love it. I love it.
I'm learning
There you go.
technology.
We all can learn, right? We all can learn. We all learn if we're willing. That's the thing. You got to be
But
willing.
I
Yep.
totally agree. I totally agree. And that's, you know, I think we as if I'm gonna go to that thing you said. It's about having. That's the other thing is in here for me. Is
Okay.
learning our surroundings outside. And when I say that, if I know that I am here and I'm trying to change my life and I'm trying to, better health, whatever maybe we gonna your doctor, better health. Okay. I know I can't hang out with my friends every day that want to go out here and eat whatever. I know that's because that circle is not gonna support me.
Mhm. It's
They're
true.
not gonna be like, oh no.
Yep.
If I'm the only one eating a salad, they're gonna be looking at me like, what is wrong with him today?
It's true.
And a lot of times, like in school, what they call it peer pressure. You
Mm.
give into it. But we have to make the decision like that circle is not for me right now.
Yep.
I'm not
Yep.
strong enough to be in that circle. There may come a time
Yeah.
but right now, that
Yep.
ain't circle for me.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a powerful thing because you're absolutely right. And that's even like in your own house, right? Because I've
yes,
worked with some people who their spouse or their partner or their wife or husband is not on the same page. And that is just torturous. It's torturous for them. So that whole sweeping your surroundings, right? Creating the optimal environment to support the direction that you're headed. And it's hard when you have somebody who's your running buddy who, when you say, look, I need to make some changes because I want my future to look a little bit different. And that person's like, what are you talking about? Well, we're not going to go out on the weekend and we're not going to do this and do that. It's hard when you get to that conclusion to say, you know what? We might have to peel back a little bit until I get to the point where I am strong enough to say I can go out or do whatever that activity is and still kind of keep myself moving in that sort of healthy direction. But yeah, it's true. You've got to find people that are on the same page as you for sure.
now I'm gonna jump on this one because I hear it a lot. Folks talking about eating healthy is more expensive than just eating junk.
Hmm.
Oh, that's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah,
I ain't in
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
conversation. I'm just
yeah,
being nosy.
yeah. I My personal opinion, I think it takes more time. You have to plan ahead to eat healthy because generally anything that's fast is unhealthy. So you've got to think about it and say, okay, I'm going to plan ahead for my week. I'm going to make sure I have groceries in the store, in the house, and I'm going to think about what I'm going to eat. The fruits and veggies they don't last 3, 6 months, right? So you're going to have to shop and eat more frequently. You're going to have to shop more frequently, and you're going to have to eat those veggies. But if you do dollar for dollar, I personally don't think it's necessarily more expensive. It just requires more effort initially. Again, until it becomes a habit, though, right? I mean, any decision that we make. So if I can get a little sort of medical on you. So when we make a decision, right, and we say, okay, I want to get healthy. Somebody calls in and says, Dr. Dunbar, I'm ready. I want to get healthy. Okay. That decision is made sort of in the outer cortex of your brain.
Right.
Then it takes time for that decision to create sort of tracks down to a central portion of your brain where our habits are. Similar to when we were a kid and we were walking. I heard this analogy from a neurologist, and it was just like, wow, this is such a beautiful way of explaining this. So when you're a kid and you're walking, you don't really know how to do it initially, right? First you crawl, then you start pulling up, and then you're reaching for somebody's hand, and you take those few steps and you fall over and you get back up, and then eventually you learn to walk, and it becomes just second nature, and you don't have to expend any energy to think about it. Now that's become ingrained in the deeper part of your brain. It's a habit. It's the same thing, right? You make a decision, say, oh, I want to get healthy. Those first 3-6 months, it's tough. You stumble, you fall, but somebody's there to pick you up and say, you can do this. Let's go. Let's keep doing this. And if you do it enough, and you do it often enough, and with repetition and consistency, eventually becomes a habit. And then you don't have to expend that outer cortex, that brain power, thinking about it anymore, because it's buried deep as a habit deep in your brain, and you just do it. It's like, for me, so I wasn't always like this. 3 years ago, I was overweight. I was eating garbage. I was skipping meals, not eating healthy. I had a whole drawer in my office that was nothing but chocolates and Twizzlers and a whole bunch of other garbage that I would eat, just trying to make it through my day, eat whatever was available at lunchtime, half falling asleep on my way home from work, had nothing in the tank for my kids or my family when I got home. So I know what everybody, I've been there. I've lived the life that I'm trying to correct. I was fortunate enough where my lab work hadn't caught up with my choices yet, which is the other thing. People think if their lab looks good, I don't need to change anything. I'm not diabetic yet. Well, not if you're making the choices that are going to lead you there. So my labs weren't there yet, but I knew my choices were headed in that direction. And I had to learn new habits, right? I had to learn to make sure I prioritized getting breakfast in the morning, that I was not skipping meals, that I was drinking enough water. All of that took time, and I didn't do it all at once. I did one habit, and to the point where it's like, oh, all right, I don't have to think about that anymore. Then I added another one, and I did it over time. It took time. But now I'm on the other side where that's just how I live. Now I eat veggies. 3 years ago, somebody put a salad in front of me, I would be like, what is that? I don't eat that. I don't eat tomatoes. What are you talking about? Now that's predominantly what I eat, right? But it takes time. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes support. People need support. They don't just need the information. They need support and accountability.
Yes. You know, when you said that, that's what I was actually thinking is a lot of people, in my mind, I don't know, think that, this is like jumping into a pool or jumping into the ocean. Well, in my mind, I would think, no, you don't want to think of it as jumping into the ocean. Just jump into the baby pool. And then when you conquer the baby pool, then you move into the big bursting pool. And then when you conquer that, then you go further. Because if you start out thinking like, oh my God, I gotta go swim the ocean, you are like, I can't do it. But if you plan it and you take these little progressive steps, you'll get there.
Yep. Oh, you still there, Donnie? My video is sticking. You see me? Okay, good.
I started drinking when you left. you left.
I know. I feel you. But that is spot on, right? And I think that's part of it is you can't. I try to help people understand that every step, health is like a continuum, right? So way over here is what I would consider the standard American diet, right? Highly processed, the cakes, the sweets, the pizzas, the burgers, drinking the sodas, alcohol, everything, standard American diet. And then you got this whole long line. And then over here is kind of whole food, plant-based. That's where we know the research sits for reducing disease, reducing risk of cancers, undoing all the things that we've all sort of acquired over time.
Right.
And people think, God, I'm eating foods here. How am I ever going to get here? Why even try? I'm never going to do this. I can never give up my meat, or I can never give up fill in the blank, whatever the thing is. So they don't even start because they
Right.
can't imagine living a life all the way over here. But the beauty is, every step you are willing to make in this direction confers benefit. It is
Mm.
beneficial. Every step. So every little bit helps. And then you might be surprised where you get there and you're like, oh, not as bad as I thought. Okay, well, let me go a little bit further. And then you just sort of see where you end up. But you don't have to think, Tuesday I'm living here, Wednesday I got to go here. You'll never
Right.
start. You'll never start. Yeah.
That is so amazing. I'm gonna tell you a little personal here. I got some garden growing, okay? It's a little bitty one,
Nice.
okay? I got some tomatoes. I got some squash. I got some zucchini. I got
Look
me
at
some
you.
peppers. I got some green onions growing. There's a little garden growing.
Nice.
And for me, it's because one, I wanted to, I'm a country boy, but I wanted to, my baby, I have her working it and learning from it as well. I think that
Yes.
that's the thing is if we slowly start to change these mindsets, that it's not always about the fast food. It's not always about the McDonald's or the Burger King. Now
Mhm.
I'm a McDonald's Burger King person, but I'm just saying it's not always about that. If we can start to show differently to the ones that are coming up and changing
Mhm.
these habits, they don't have to deal with some of the things that we have put on ourselves.
Absolutely. That's that generational health, right? I mean, it takes
Yes.
one member of a family to change generations, which is where I think this is so powerful, right? If you start with a parent or grandparent, that stuff trickles down. It trickles down and it changes generations, which from, call it public health, call it, community medicine, whatever the term is you want to use. To me, that's the most effective way to sort of create an opportunity to change a whole community, with just one person, them paying it forward and showing that to their family. And then it moves on and on and on from there. Yeah.
So, how do you think that what you're doing is growing? Or, I mean, I know that there is a need for it, but how's it being just received overall, in your opinion, from your standpoint, from what you people? Well, I'm sure people that you work with are like, yay, but other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah. I tell you, I will say that it's the lifestyle medicine is growing. The American College of Lifestyle Medicine is the institution that does the research. They do all the CME training for physicians or dietitians or nurses or whoever that want to adopt and to teach lifestyle medicine to their patients. So they do a phenomenal job, and I highly recommend them. They have patient level information on there, so it's a great resource for people. So the movement of lifestyle medicine is growing. In fact, I think the current president was just invited to the White House to sit to talk about how we move health and nutrition forward in this country. So it's growing. Um, so that's a good thing. And I think consumers of healthcare are demanding this. So from that perspective, I think we're definitely seeing a push towards lifestyle medicine because I think people want more than just a medication. Where I think we have a lot of work to do is the healthcare systems.
mm,
Those are coming in slower, but that's happening as well, right? Some of them are adopting lifestyle medicine. They're bringing in physicians that are sort of running that department. The challenge with the system is reimbursable, right? Then it comes down to dollars. Sadly, healthcare is
yeah,
still
yeah,
profit. It's still a profit-driven business, right?
right,
And
right,
it does not generate money to reverse diabetes, right? It takes money away from the system to reverse type 2 diabetes. So now you've got to figure out, well, how are you going to pay for this? Or is there a savings, right, that you're going to realize on the back end? Because now you're saving money because you're not insuring people that require this long-term care down the road. So you have to sort of
right.
think about your dollars a little bit differently. So that's the trick with the healthcare system is they've got to think about the money a little bit differently because it doesn't pay right up front. It's money realized in savings somewhere down the line. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's, when that's the real. I mean, that is cutting it. That's cutting it right to the bone right there. It's so true, that, yeah, if I get you healthy, I said this the other day, if I get you healthy, the fear is you won't need me no more.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
I
true.
just I just built 120 hospitals. I ain't nobody gonna be in them if they all healthy.
Yep.
And that's, man, it's
Yep.
unfortunate. Um, and the flip side of that is, you think that is that industry going like, oh, let's get more of McDonald's. Let's put more of them up because I can be in more hospitals, more McDonald's, more hospitals, more, you
Sure.
know, and it's up to us to again change this thing. You know, me, do I want to, my baby's 3. Do I want to live until she's 33? I do.
Hmm.
And in order to do that, there are some things that have changed. That's the big truth is what truth is.
Yep.
I can't just eat, fried chicken and all these things every single day and clogging up these things and think that I'm gonna be here when she's 33. That's just real. That's just
Yep.
real. I can joke about a lot of things, but that's the truth. Um,
Hmm.
but we have to find that thing that tells us, do you want to be here? Do
Hmm.
you want to change your life? Do you want to look at your grandbabies and your great grandbabies? Do you want to do that? If you want to do that, then this right here, you can't keep it up.
Oh man, there you go. There you go. It's true. It is so true. There was a comment. I want to make sure it wasn't a question that I needed to answer. I don't
Let me
remember. I
see
lost
here.
it. So
Let's see here. I don't know
I
what
saw
it was.
red meat and meat.
All right.
It doesn't bother me. Pork, red meat, plant. No medication. Oh, so they're saying that so Annie, you saying that basically you're not affected by what's around you, basically, right? So you're at that point where you can be around other folks, doesn't matter what they're eating, you can still kind of keep yourself where you need to be, which is awesome. That's great. That's
Yeah,
where we
wait a
want
minute.
everybody to be.
Oh, doesn't drink soft drinks. I mean,
Gotcha.
but there's a lot of that stuff, and I think about it, and I don't really know because I don't work in the industry, but you think about all that stuff that's going into a lot of that, into the
Mhm.
soft drinks and into the can. Ain't nothing real. I'm sorry, I just
Exactly.
don't think there's nothing that's real. It's got something else put in here to put in here,
Yep.
to
Yeah,
it
it's
ain't
true. Well, I mean, for one, it just has a ton of sugar, which is awful. We vilified fat for a long time, and sugar kind of went under the radar, but sugar is just, oh man, it is. So, just the good news is that we know, and I say we meaning healthcare, although again, not all docs are practicing lifestyle medicine. All docs may not know what it is because again, it's not part of our training. So when I say we, I'm thinking lifestyle medicine, right? Those that get it and know
right.
it. We know that we can help people. It's just a matter of finding the people that are ready and giving them the right tools and the education and supporting them. And if your doc, I would say to your listeners, if you have a physician or nurse practitioner or PA or whomever your healthcare provider is, and your encounters are somewhere along the line of, oh, check in with me in 6 months, we'll redo your labs and refill your prescriptions, and you don't want that life, right? Again, like Donnie's saying, you have a different motivation. There's a why, there's a big reason why you want to change your life, and they don't know how to help you. Find somebody that can, because it's possible. And I think a lot of consumers, again, patients, feel like they're tied to their doc or they're tied to their provider, and if their doc can't help them, they don't know where to go for that information. Well, lean on me. You can ask me questions. Find me on the internet. I'd be happy to talk to you. So you have to sort of take control of your health, be the primary driver of your health, rather
Yes.
than just sitting back and letting it happen to you. drive. You get in the driver's seat and you decide how you want your future to look. And then wrap yourself with people to support that.
Yeah, and on top of that, instead of somebody telling me come back in 6 months and we'll check it, you know, wait a minute, hold up, can you know what I'm saying? Let me take
Mhm.
instead of you controlling this thing right here, because guess what? You're gonna take your life home. I'm trying to take mine, so
There you
I'm
go.
not gonna let you. And I'm paying you. Hold up, wait a minute. You're working for me. You're not gonna just tell me. You know what I'm saying? But it's almost like we give up the control of our life for
Mhm.
somebody that just tells us, "Oh, hey, I just read this. Okay, come back 6 months." No,
Yep.
let me for you.
Yep.
Here's a prescription for you. Come back. No,
Yep.
if when we can, and it's almost like I don't know. People are afraid to do that. People are
Mhm.
afraid to step up for their own self.
Yep, I agree with that. I definitely think so. I definitely think so. But it's changing because I mean, people will come in with Google search, to the nines. Well, Google told me I got this, and Google said this, and oh man, I'm like, okay, what did Google tell you? Let's spend the first 20 minutes undoing everything that Google told you. But that's okay. You know what I mean? But I welcome, but that to me at least shows, that are participating in their care, which I would
Yeah,
much rather have than someone who's just complacent and is just there. I'd much rather have somebody who's coming and saying, "Well, I think I got this." Okay, well, let's talk about that. Why do you think you
right.
got this? Let's have a dialogue and let's talk about it. And I would say that it's the same thing. If you want to change your life and you want to get off medications and have a healthier outcome, have those kind of challenging conversations. Ask that because I still run across people and it just blows my mind. I see people in urgent care who have type 2 diabetes, and I ask them, I said, "Do you know that this is reversible?" And they look at me like I got three heads. And I'm like, how is this still happening? How do people
Right.
not know that this is reversible? Or they say, "Yeah, but I got to eat right." Yeah, you do. But when you're ready, we're here to help you. Yeah.
Yeah, they either you gonna eat right or you gonna either you gonna change it or that old mortician man, he's awaiting too.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty
He's like,
much.
okay, he'll bring you another plate. Yeah, he's gonna eat some more of this.
Yep.
Um,
Pretty
and
much.
that's really unfortunate that people are afraid to take control. Maybe that's it. I don't want to take control of what I got to do. That's that thing again, because that means I have to be accountable and responsible for
Mm,
myself. If I don't
mm.
take control of it and I just give it to you, when something happens to me, the first thing I can do is blame it
Ah,
on you.
there you go. Huh. Preach. There you go.
It was the doctor's fault because why didn't you tell me?
It's true.
Wait a minute. I don't sit at the table with you. I mean, and I'd be a terrible doctor. I'd be like, I don't sit at the table with you. You know, when you was eating that, I wasn't there. And it's I do believe, for me personally, we know what's good and bad for us. We know.
Mm,
But we make the
yeah.
choice to do something different. And then when we make the choice to do it, we want somebody else to be responsible for what we did.
Yeah. 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 That's a powerful statement, Don. You can get yourself in trouble when you say
I
that,
can.
right? People
Ooh,
people want somebody else to blame when stuff goes bad,
I'm gonna
right? They
drink
don't
some
want
more
to
of this
accept that.
cranberry juice.
Exactly. They don't want to accept that responsibility. They want the good, right? They want, sometimes people want to take the benefit, but then when things don't go bad, they're looking for somebody else to blame. But
Yes, yes,
um
yes.
my
Um,
job is I just want to, my goal is educate anybody that doesn't know, right, that they have control over their health. My goal is to make sure, scream it from the rooftops over and over and over again, that you do have control. And then if you want to know how to take control, then let's do that too. Yeah.
well, let me ask you this, and look, I will give you some of this cranberry juice, but you over there.
I'm gonna
So
take a sip of water while you talk. So I'm gonna drink while you do that. Go ahead, I'm listening.
how has how have your what you call them people that work with you? How has that been for you in the medical field?
Yeah.
Have you had any as far as you going like, hey, your comrades, your confidants, your have you had run into any resistance because of how you stepped out?
Surprisingly not, which has been really good, right? It's either, gosh, I wish I could do it myself. Oh, I totally support that. Oh, that's totally what we need. I get it because we're not actually helping people. Or it's, oh, good for you. But I haven't met anybody who's um, given me any resistance or had any negative comments. It's either no comment, which I just sort of take to mean maybe they don't agree with it,
Right.
or an overwhelming support and congratulations on doing it. So it's usually one of those two. Yeah, but I haven't. No one has said to me, "Oh, that's the dumbest thing. Why'd you do that?" Or yeah, it's been really well received for the most part, which is really encouraging. It's really encouraging.
And I applaud you, and I say this because it seems to me, and I don't know, that you're doing what you set out to do. This makes any sense. I'm gonna see if I can tie this. Is that your goal for going into medicine was to help people? And I say that because a lot of people go into something with a goal and a vision,
Mhm.
but somehow everything else gets in there, whether it's the money or the prestige or these things, and you tend to forget why you started.
Yeah.
I applaud you because you're going like, I know why I started this. I started to help people. I didn't start to be a band-aid for what was going on. I started because I wanted to help people and heal and help people get better and heal and fix this thing. Because a lot of people don't. Doctors,
Yeah.
lawyers, just regular old people, they be like, no, I started like this, but ooh, the money good, so forget that. Um,
Yeah.
and I applaud that. I applaud that. And I thank you for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Like I said, there were two. I've got really strong women in my life. My mom, my sister, and my grandmother, and they've all passed away. And they are they are my motivation. Um, my sister died way too young from breast cancer, and I know now. Could things have been different if I knew then what I know now?
Right.
Certainly from my mother, I think 100% sure could have been different because um, she had reversible diseases.
Mm.
So they are the reason I do it. That and my two girls. I got two girls that are 8 and 4, and I'm 50. So same thing, right? My kids are going to be, when they get to be 18, 20, 30, for me to be around to see
Right.
them, I've got to I got to keep my stuff tight because I won't be
Yes.
here. So they're the reasons I do it. And they're the reason I started med school and the reason I went into medicine, thinking that that was the way that I could honor their memory and honor what they instilled in me. And somewhere along the way, I realized that the way the system works was not going to honor them sufficiently. And I started creating this thing, just bootstrapping it, right? And the nooks and crannies, just I don't, right? I mean, I'm a physician. I don't know how to run a business. I don't know how to do social media. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, right? You try it, you do this, you do a little bit of it, you ask a bunch of questions, you meet a bunch of people, and you do the best you can. Because for me, what that burn in my belly, I can't turn it off. Like sometimes I'm like, gosh, I wish I could just, fine, I'll just go to work and I'll collect my paycheck every 2 weeks. And, but I can't turn it off. I can't stop. So,
Right. And
um,
and that's when for me, when you know what your passion is, it's that thing that you can't. It's not that switch you can just stop and it's there. It burns, and it keeps you, and it keeps you driving, and it keeps you motivated each and every day. You wake up with it, and that's away from the medicine thing or anything else. For me, that's what a lot of people I've seen have missed is that passion. They don't know what they're passionate about. They don't know what that purpose is. So that drive, even the drive to live a healthier life, because I don't know what I'm passionate about. So guess what? You know what? As you said, I'm just going to work to get a check. I ain't going for
yeah.
nothing else. When is payday? Is it payday? Okay, I'm excited on payday. But other than that, I'm not really excited. Um, But when you have that burning in you, you wake up excited. You go to bed because you want to get rest because you know what? I can't wait to wake up in the morning to be right back at it. That is
Yep.
something that's deep. That is deep and it's in there. I think everyone has the opportunity to have that.
Mm,
And I think it's in there, but so many people have lost that.
mm.
I'm driven for my health because guess what? If when I'm healthy, my passion is to be the best father. My passion is to be the best man. My passion
Yep.
is to be whatever it is. But if I'm slacking on this, I can't be that.
Very true. Very true. Yep. Very, very true. Yeah, it's amazing how it all just kind of works together, right? If you're, and I've seen it too. If I start letting my sleep go, that was one thing I really struggled with, right? And I think we tell our, at least for me, I was telling myself a lot of stories about, I go to work and do whatever I need to, come home, get the kids to sleep. And between their bedtime and whatever godforsaken hour of the morning, that was my time. That was when I did my best work, which was all garbage. It was just a story I was telling myself, right? Staying up way too late, waking up way too early. And I was existing on fumes.
Mm,
Um, and when I changed my sleep and I prioritized my sleep, which we do not pay enough attention to, sleep is like your secret superpower. And nobody, I don't think anybody pays attention to that. And when I started to prioritize my sleep through, again, that whole sort of transformation that I went through about 3 years ago, it was so profound. I was like, holy moly. And the minute I start to slack on that, I
hmm
don't wake up as jazzed. I don't wake up as fired up. I don't make good nutrition choices, right?
Right.
So I'm not perfect. Trust me. I still fall back into some of my bad habits, but I don't stay there, right? I recognize it a lot sooner and I know, oh, no, 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 we gotta right the ship. But yeah, if you're not doing all the little bits, then I'm not as productive and I can't bring to the table my best if I
Right.
don't take care of myself. So this helps me also to make sure that I'm taking good care of myself so that I have everything possible to give to other people that are ready.
Well, Doc, I want to ask tell me about tell me about your kitchen. What you got? Look, what you be eating up in there? That's what I want.
Yeah.
I just need to know the next time is you came to my house tonight for then you saying nothing on the plate though. What?
Yep.
What? Look, what can this old country boy expect if he come over there for dinner?
So I'll tell you what we had tonight. We had tofu, grilled veggies, and some couscous. That was sort of the main sort of meal. There's usually, and then we sort of had some leftover eggplant and tomato sort of soup. But there's usually grains and lots of veggies. We didn't actually have fruit. The kids usually do fruit for dessert. Sometimes we let them have ice cream. So it's not like the house is all good stuff. Um, but there's still some sweet stuff hanging around back here in cabinets somewhere. But yeah, no, the house is we're pretty clean. There's still some stuff lying around, but for the most part, lots of fruits, lots of greens, lots of veggies. Yeah, for breakfast, I love oatmeal. I didn't think
Oh
I'd ever
yeah.
get into oatmeal. I love oatmeal with some berries in the morning. That's like my jam. Um, if I'm running late, I'll do some Ezekiel bread, which is like the whole grain, really nutty, seedy bread with some almond butter. I do all plant based milks. I only drink oat milk. Yeah, so it's just
Really?
I was over time. Again, this was not like flip the switch the next day. I ate like this, right? I wasn't eating red meat because I was not a big red meat eater, but we were doing chicken and certainly fish and all of that. And eventually I took the chicken out. Um, and I just felt so much better, right? And the cleaner I ate, the better I felt. The better
Wow.
I did with
Wow.
sleep, the better I felt. The more water I drank, the better I felt. And it's like, why would I want to go back to how I felt back then? Bloated, exhausted, chronically tired, just dragging all day long. Why would I go back to that? Right? It's just like it would be crazy. So I just keep going.
Wow, that's amazing how, when you really don't think about that, how it all ties in and the sluggishness and the tiredness and then you got you ain't getting enough sleep. So, boy, you tie all them together. Woo, you sure be grumpy.
Exactly.
Now I
Exactly.
know why people be grumpy in the morning. Thank you, Doc. Now I get it. I'm gonna start asking. So you didn't have a good meal or sleep, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. You skipped breakfast and you didn't sleep enough. It's true. But that's the thing, right? I think conventionally we think health or disease is defined by labs, but there are other subjective things that we just have been living with, but we don't realize that we can change it, right? I mean, I know people that are chronically fatigued. They're exhausted all day long. And that's about the food you're eating. That's about not
Right.
prioritizing your sleep, not drinking enough water, not getting exercise, right? People can't fall asleep at night. It's because they're not moving during the day. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to modify our lifestyle to support health that we're not doing. Our labs may look great, and your doc may be telling you, oh, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't, your labs look good, but you can barely get yourself out of bed in the morning, right? Because you're so
Right.
exhausted, or you got chronic headaches. That's another one. People have headaches or they have IBS. And healthcare doesn't know what to do with that stuff. We just give them a bunch of medications. All of that is food, right? If we change our nutrition, we sleep, we exercise, we can drastically change our life. Yeah.
Man. Well, let me ask you, because I like these right here. I don't know if they're good or not. Now, or tell me about like the nuts. I don't know, because I like to eat peanuts. I like peanuts, and I like pecans. Because I'm
Yeah.
from the country. You yeah.
Yeah.
But now those two I do.
Yeah.
I'm not that high. Everything else is I eat, but
Yeah.
them two right there. Well, I eat a whole bag of them things.
Ah. So nuts and seeds generally are good for you, but in moderation.
Uh-oh.
Moderation.
Uh-oh. So
So
we,
I
we
know.
ain't
So
we ain't friends no more.
I know, I know, I know, I know. No, they're good for you, but in moderation because they're high in they're really calorie dense. Um, so they will tend to drive, especially if they're salted, right? We know that's going to affect your blood pressure. That's going to affect your water, how water moves through your body.
Right.
Depending on what time of day you're eating them, if you're not drinking enough water, your body's not going to be able to cool properly to get you to sleep because the salt is going to pull water out, you know what I mean, or pull water in. Um, so yeah, in moderation, it's okay, but not if you're getting into a whole bag of them every day. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. Now I don't eat no sunflower seed. I don't like them. Mm-mm. I ain't finna
Do you
eat
do
none.
flaxseed? Do you do any
I
other
no.
chia seeds or
A who?
flaxseed or
What
anything?
is that? I don't not looking at a flat seed. What is? I
I
don't know
will
that.
tell you. So if you have perimenopausal or menopausal female viewers, so for myself, I was starting to get hot flashes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is craziness. So I started adding flaxseed to my oatmeal in the morning. So if folks are perimenopausal or menopausal with hot flashes, flaxseed, I would encourage you to add about 2 tablespoons and you go all the way up to 4. But you got to be careful because again, flaxseed if your gut's not used to eating high fiber and all of that, you got to go easy. So go slow. But flaxseed is a great natural way to treat hot flashes.
Yeah, I get hot too. Yeah, I'll be. Oh, you meant for? Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say now. Okay.
Ah, what other tidbits? What other tidbits can I offer?
Well, hey, look, whatever you got, Doc. 'Cause look,
Uh,
they need some. I'm good because yeah,
I
yeah.
hear you.
Now
I hear you.
so well, let me ask you. Now I did hear about this, and I don't know. Is there a difference between like the bread, like wheat
Mhm.
and white or yeah, them? What is the best or better, or is there such a thing?
Yeah. So you want to try to eat complex carbohydrates. So simple carbohydrates, the easiest way I can think to describe it is if it's white, it's likely a simple carbohydrate. So white rice, white bread, potatoes are actually okay. It's the skin that has a lot of good fiber. And it's usually what we do to the potato that's the problem. The butter and the sour cream and the bacon bits, right? That's the issue. But a good, just a regular potato or sweet potato is actually good for us. It's got some good fiber, got some good carbohydrates in it. So if we're doing bread, better to do a whole wheat or like a multi-grain or, kind of what I describe as like the nutty, seedy kind of bread. That's the better kind of bread to do. Yeah, if you're going to do bread. And I do that every now and again. Or if I'm running late, that's what I'll do for breakfast in the morning. But white bread is totally processed and refined. It has no nutritional value at all.
Oh, wow. Wow. Really?
Hmm.
I didn't know that. Oh, look here.
Yeah. Salt free for 40 years. That's great. That's great. Yeah. That's the other thing. So sugars is another one, right? So the other thing I get a lot, oh, I'm a diabetic. I can't eat fruit because fruit has too much sugar. And that is a bunch of hogwash. So fruit, the natural sugars in fruit are fine as a diabetic. Again, it's all the other things that have added sugars is the problem. So I'd much rather a diabetic eat fruit naturally, right? Your real fruit, whole fruit, and eat whole grain and eat healthy and give away kind of the sweets, the cookies and the candies and the chocolates and the simple carbohydrates that are then converted to sugar in their system. That's the big thing, right? So
Mm,
if you're eating simple carbs in your body, that's converted to glucose. And over time, that sugar stays elevated, elevated, elevated. Your poor pancreas is trying to push out insulin to bring that sugar level down and it just gets tired. And it's like, I can't keep up. So then the cells that insulin is supposed to attach to say now bring in glucose so it doesn't stay high in your blood, those cells don't respond to them as well. So you develop insulin resistance. And over time, you end up with prediabetes. And then if you just keep trucking along, you end up with full blown diabetes. This is type 2. And then again, you need more and more medication. And eventually, you need insulin because your pancreas is not secreting enough in order to tell those cells to absorb the sugar, right? They're insulin resistant.
right.
Um, type 1 is genetic. That one is just a short straw. Your pancreas never secreted insulin. You have to have insulin externally. That's type 1 diabetes. We could improve your blood sugar, but we can't reverse type 1 diabetes. But type 2,
Okay.
we absolutely can. Yeah. So the simple carbohydrates and fats is another one that diabetics should really stay away from is saturated fats. That's the other one we don't talk about. All diabetics know is don't eat sugar, right?
Right,
And
right.
they've been scared of sugar, but they don't know about the simple carbohydrates. They don't know about fats.
Wow. Yeah, because I've heard that too. You know, if you just stay away from the sugar. I mean, you stay away from the fruits. You just don't do it. Uh, wow. Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink some more of my cranberry juice.
But that's the thing, right? It's just educating people. And again, for those that are ready to receive and get that support, then they can do great things, right? They don't have to live their life in fear that they're going to lose a toe and lose their eyesight and end up on
Right.
dialysis, right? I mean, I see so many people that they're so scared about what's coming because they've got this disease and
Yes.
I'm like, you don't have to live your life in fear. You can change this. So that's the other thing, right? Is there's no reason to be scared of living if you are in control of your choices.
Yeah, and that's and I'm gonna let you close out, but I'm gonna say this right here, Doc. You know, when you said that dialysis, there's so many for a while here in Houston, they were just popping up. You'd have dialysis centers all over the place, just popping up, just popping up, just popping up, and that's so unfortunate um, because these things that could have been treated or that we
Mhm.
could have done differently, where we didn't have to
Yep.
go through all of that.
Yep. Very true. Very, very true. But again, that makes money, right? I mean, if you think about it, diabetes is for better, for those that suffer from type 2 diabetes and are living with it, is a disease that if not reversed, it just progresses, right? It just keeps trucking on and it attacks every system in the body. It attacks, your heart, it attacks your vessels. So that's why you end up with the amputations. You end up with increased risk of heart attacks. You end up on multiple medications. It attacks your kidneys. You end up on dialysis. And it
Uh,
just keeps trucking along and along. If you don't change anything, it will eventually do all of these things. It is a known thing. So that's why you've got the dialysis units popping up everywhere because they know it's coming, right? They just got
right.
to wait long enough. It's coming. It's coming.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Doc, look here. What I want you to do is it is your time. I suppose I've been shutting up over here, but I've been running my mouth. I'm gonna keep the cranberry juice. What I want you to do, Doc, I want you to whatever you want to leave the people with. It's have your way. I also want you to, if you would, if you don't mind, give them your information where they can reach out to you uh, and contact you, however that is. But whatever word, whatever inspiration you want to leave us old folks with, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I would encourage everybody to own your own health for better or for worse, right? Like Donnie said, own the good and own the challenging. So when things don't go well, own that. When things do go well, own that and celebrate it. Because you've only got this one life, this beautiful, precious life. We only get one shake at this. Um, and I would encourage you to seize the opportunity to create the life that you are proud of, and that those that are watching in your family will continue to sort of create with you and the legacy that you want to lead. And if you need support in that, I'm always here to help you. So the easiest way to get a hold of me is if you go to my website, and it's Saravit Wellness. So it's SARAVIT Wellness, WELLNESS, all one word, .com, and just do free consultation. Fill out that information. You and I jump on a phone call and we just have a conversation and just see where you're at. Are you ready? Are you not? How can I support you? And if you're not ready now, you've got my information. If you're ready, then let's do something great together. But I'm happy to provide any help and resource that I can.
Wow. Well, I greatly, again, I said it before, I'll say it again. Heck, I'll say it a million more times. I greatly appreciate you taking the time out and coming here and sitting at the table, even though I ate before you got here.
It's all good. That's a good thing. You should eat. Eating is good. It's important.
I greatly appreciate you and everything that you've shared. And I know that step by step, inch by inch, you're going to change this thing and you're going to turn this thing around. You're doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful work. I commend you. I tip my old hat to you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you, my
thank you
friend.
so very much. It has been an honor, indeed an honor to have you here. And know at any time, that you want to come back and have dinner here at the table,
You
you
got
are
it.
more than welcome. You
Thank you,
have an
sir. Thank
open
you.
invitation.
You got it.
And to each and every one of y'all, she gave you her information. I think it's already, I think I did post it on the thing, but I will post it again where you can reach out to her uh, and just support her and what she's doing. If you don't want a consultation, then just go support her. She's doing wonderful things. She is doing wonderful things. Listen here, it ain't because she has to, it's because she wants to. It's because it's her passion, it's her vision. Um, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. That means she ain't gonna stop. She that little train that thinks she can. She don't even think it no more. She
Yeah.
knows she can. She knows she can. She knows she can. She knows she can, and she gonna do it. And it is a privilege and an honor. So we finna get up out of here. But like the old country boy say, every time before I leave, I love each and every one of you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Doc, I greatly appreciate it. And
Thank
we
you.
will be talking soon. Thank you,
Yes.
thank you so much. Y'all have a good one now. You hear?